What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Today we're going to be flying the PMDG 737 from LaGuardia, New York to Toronto. We're going to be flying a real flight. It is Westjet 1215 is going to be the flight number. That's WJA 1215. I do have the scenery for both airports, and I also have the New York downtown scenery, which you can kind of see the skyline there now. This is going to be our route. I'll show you the route that we're taking real quick. Let me just fix this orientation here. So we're going to be flying right up this way, right over Buffalo, Niagara Falls, and then into Toronto. Should be a pretty easy flight. Don't have a lot of weather in between here and there that we got to worry about, so it should be pretty smooth. I haven't done anything in the plane, so we'll go ahead and jump inside the plane, and we'll get our pre-flight check started. First thing we need to do is make sure our park and brake is set, which it is. We'll go to the overhead panel. We'll go ahead and get our battery switch toggled on. And we'll get our electric hydraulic pumps turned on. Let me go up here and we'll get our dome light turned on as well. Let's turn the bright one on while we're down on the ground here. All right, so we have our electric hydraulic pumps turned on. We'll go ahead and establish ourselves on the ground power. We'll check our landing gear lever. 3 green, landing gear lever is down. We are good on that. We'll do our engine and APU fire warning test. We'll verify this. We get 2 lights down here. We get an alert up here. Go ahead and switch this over to the right. 3 alarms, 2 lights. Just extinguish the alarm with the button. Overheat signals. We are good to go up there. We'll make sure these lights are working as well. Good. Flick them to the right and good. We're all set to go on that. Position lights can come on. We'll come up here. Position lights are already on, actually. Wing lights can come on. While we're on the ground, we'll go ahead and toggle on the wheel well lights so that the ground crew can see. Since it's, dusk here. Engine bleed switches are already on. We'll go ahead up here. We'll go to IRS set to nav. Yaw damper, we'll turn that on in a bit. Emergency exit lights can come on. No smoking and seatbelt signs can come on as well. What else we got? Flap lever. Make sure our flap lever is forward over here. Speed brake lever is forward as well. Speed brake lever, flaps. Galley switch is on. Go back up here. Galley switch is right here. And our window heats can come on. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And probe heats will stay off, and we are ready to start programming the plane. So we'll jump down here. We'll go FS actions. We'll start out with our fuel. So let's grab, wait, let me see, payload. We'll start out with our zero fuel weight, actually. Our zero fuel weight today is going to be 117.9. So we'll do 118.0. We'll drop that in here. We'll close that out. And then we'll go to return. We'll head over to fuel. Our block fuel today is going to be 13,102. So 13,102. We'll set that there. We're all good to go. We'll go return, menu, FMC. We'll start programming this in just a second. I want to get some of our button and panel lights turned on here since it's getting a little bit darker out. So we'll get those on. We'll come down here. We'll get our panel lights on down here. Get a slight floodlight. We don't need much. We'll go up here. Get panel lights turned on up here as well. We don't need the circuit breaker light. And there we go. We have all our lights on. We'll jump back down here. We'll go to position in it. And KLGA is going to be our reference gate or reference airport. We'll head over to the second page, grab our GPS left, go back, paste it in here. Head over to route, put in KLGA here, and our destination is going to be CYYZ, I think it is. Yeah, CYYZ. And we'll put that in up here. Let's see, we're departing on runway 31, so we can put that in here as well. Runway 31, we're not doing a company route. We'll head over to the next page, and we have a couple waypoints to put in, but it's pretty easy. What I can show you here is if we're going direct to Gale, and then we're getting on Q818, and we're taking Q818 all the way through our entire flight plan. So all we need to do is put in Gale, Q818, and then Woozy, the last waypoint, and it's going to know that all these waypoints are in between. So that's a very quick and easy way, if you have lots of waypoints on the same jetway, that you could do that. So GAYEL, G-A-Y-E-L, we're going to put that into 2, and then we're going to jump on Quebec 818. It's going to be Q818. We'll put that in here. And then our last waypoint is going to be Woozy, W-O-Z-E-E. So W-O-Z-E-E. We'll drop that in there. we can go ahead and activate and execute. Now, if we head over to our legs, you can see that all those waypoints in between are put into here. So let me show you. So we never put in this in. We never put MSLIN or Stomp, Buffy, CFB. But look, it's all here. Stomp, Buffy, CFB. And all we did was we put in Gale, Quebec 818, and then the last waypoint, because we were on the same jetway the whole time, that Quebec 818. And that's why we were able to do that. All right, so we'll put this back over here on my other screen. We are not flying a departure. We're just flying runway 31 direct to Gale. So let's go ahead and put that in our departure and arrival. So we're doing runway 31, and that's it. Departure and arrival. We're going to be arriving runway 24 left via the Ling 3. So let's find Ling 3. Ling 3 for runway 24. Ling 3, runway 24. We're doing the woozy transition to runway 24 left. There we are. And that is going to be our flight plan. So we'll head over to legs. We'll jump out here. We'll set this to plan mode. And we're going to go ahead and step through this flight. Make sure everything is correct. And then we'll do a manual vector once we get up here. And right to the runway. Everything looks good to me. We'll depart and go direct to Gale. Let me just zoom this out a little bit real quick. Yep, there we go. Yep, everything was fine to me. We'll set this back to map mode. And we'll head back down here. We'll go to init ref. And we'll put in our information here. I think 11, what did I say? 118 was our zero fuel weight today. 118.0, which is right here. We did 0.5 in reserves. Our cost index today is looking like 26. 26. We'll put that in here. Does this auto generate? No, I didn't think so. All right, so we're going to be cruising at 30,000. We're going to be pretty low today. Put that in here. And let me get our cruise winds for flight level 300. We're looking at 258071 / 071. We'll drop that in there. We'll hit execute. We'll go to N1 limit. We'll do takeoff configuration 1. We'll head over to takeoff. We're gonna do a flaps 5 departure. Here's our trim. We'll head over to the next page. We'll grab our MEDAR for here, which MEDAR hasn't been working for me. LaGuardia. Okay, it's working today. All right, so it looks like it is 310 at 3 knots. 310 at 3 knots. And we'll put that in here. We head back to previous page. V1, VR, and V2. 135 is going to be our departure speed. So our altimeter is going to be 2988. So we can put that in now. I went the wrong way. 2988. We can actually turn this this screen down a little bit. It's a little bit bright. And there's a way to turn this one down too. I think it's this button. There we go. And this is 2988 as well. Is this? I'm not sure if this is synced. Looks like it might have been. All right, we'll jump back down here. I think we did everything in here that we needed to do. Departure, arrival, init ref. We did all of that. 5.6 we need to put on the trim. So let's go ahead and get that put in now. It'll take us a second to get it there. But I'm excited for this departure. It's just about nighttime, so you will be able to see the city all lit up. The airport is already getting lit up, as you can see. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful departure. Definitely excited for this one. All right, we need to put a little more information into the plane. We're going up to 30,000. Let's set this to 30,000. Good. And we can go overhead. We'll set this to 30,000 as well. And we are at sea level at this airport, so we don't need to mess with this right now. We'll leave that alone. We need to get our 135 was our departure. There we go. And actually we could do our before start checks because this is all a part of it. So FMC is programmed. Flight directors 1 and 2 can come on. Boom and boom. Auto throttle switch will stay off. Mach indicator set. Heading or altitude is set. Let's grab our heading for runway 31. Airport info, we're looking for 3-1 is 314 pi. So we're going to set that to 1 notch up. There we go. All right, heading is set. Autopilot disengage bar is up. Thrust levers are idle. Stabilizer trim we did set. Auto brakes can be set to RTO. We can go ahead and jump ahead and start our APU. So APU will start. Once that starts, we'll get our bleed on and we'll get onto our engine generators. In the meantime, we can jump back down here, set this to standby, run a test on that. We can also run a test on these up here. Everything looks good to me.
TCAS test pass.
All right. And here's where we are. We're departing runway 31. So we're going to be departing right towards New York City. So we need to push out to the left and then jump on Bravo if we can. We'll cross Alpha onto Bravo, take Bravo all the way down to, I guess, Zulu or Whiskey, one of those two. All right, we'll move this back over here. Our APU should just about be ready. It's about to stabilize now, so we'll go ahead and get our APU bleed turned on, and we'll go on our APU gens. So 1 and 2. I'm going to turn this down to dim. I'm not going to turn it off yet. We'll turn it down to dim. 1 and 2 is on. Transponder is set to standby. All right. Next thing we need to do is verify our fuel. We're only using our outer tanks. So our before pushback checks are going to be fuel pump switches can come on. 1, 2, 3, and 4. APU generator switches are on. Seatbelt signs are confirmed. Flight deck doors and windows are locked. Anti-collision lights can come on. Wheel well lights can come off. And ground equipment can be disconnected. So let's jump down here. We'll go menu, FS actions, ground services. We'll remove the wheel chocks, which will remove everything else. All right, we're moving along pretty well here so far. We did not put any of our approach information in yet, which we could, but we'll do it in the air. It gives us something to do once we're up there. I think we are just about ready for our push and start. So we know where we're going. And everything else looks good. We are on our APU and we are off the ground power. All right, yeah, we're ready for our pushback. We're gonna switch this to the left engine ignition today. We'll call for our tug. Are you gonna show up? What are you doing? No. Oh, there it goes. Now it's showing up. It's a different one. That's why I was confused. All right, we'll release our brake so that they can push us back. And as soon as we start that movement, we'll switch this over to ground. We'll get this onto the engine so we can see what we're doing. We can go ahead and toggle on our beacon. Oh, wait, it is already on. We're good. I'm thinking of the A320. Actually has a beacon switch. Anti-collision light, I believe, in this is the same as your beacons. But we're about to start pushing back, so we'll go ahead and start this engine. We'll get our right one going first. We will watch for 20 to 22 on the N2. And there we are. We'll go ahead and give it fuel. There's our pushback. It's a beautiful airport, that's for sure. See how far back can we go here. Oh, okay, we're gonna go right back onto the taxi line. That's perfect. All right, we'll just keep on pushing back. As soon as this toggles off, we'll go ahead and switch the left engine on. And we'll keep taxiing back here. There, the engine came to life. We'll switch this to ground. Oh, I need to also set my throttles back because I have them set up for the A320. That's why it's spooling up like that. I guess that's why throttles to idle is one of the things you need to check. All right, so we can go ahead and stop our pushback here. Hopefully we don't jump forward. Yep, we did. We'll hit our brakes. Gonna lock our brakes in. We'll let that engine come to life. Turn that down a little bit more. This one, I think. There we go. We'll turn that screen down a little bit too. All right, our other engine is coming to life. I don't think there's anything we forgot. I think we're pretty much on par. Hopefully, we set our altimeter and everything. We're good. All right, that flicked off. We could do our after start checks. We'll jump to the overhead panel here, and engine bleed or engine generator switches 1 and 2. So we'll go, that's not the one I want. On and on. We are now off our APU. Our APU bleed switch can come off, and our APU can come off as well. Probe heat switches 1 and 2 can come on. Yaw damper can come on. We'll do a system master caution system recall here. Make sure there's no alerts and alarms. Jump back up here. Our pack switches can be set to auto, and our isolation valve can be set to auto as well. And we'll jump down here and set this to TARA. There we are. And we are ready for our taxi check. So park and brake, we'll turn that off in a second. Runway turn off lights can come on. Taxi lights can come on. Flaps we can set to 1, 2, 3. That's flaps 5. And we'll check our flight controls. Left, right, forward, back, and rudder. We're all good to go. I think we're ready for our taxi. So we're going to make a right turn here and try and get over to... Well, I guess we can just follow this taxi line. It's right in front of us. We release our brake. Go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of throttle. And we'll go full right rudder. There we are. We're going to try and... I don't know where this taxi line goes here. So we need to get on over here. So we need that line right there. All right. I see what we got to do. All right. Give ourselves a little more throttle. Get ourselves through this turn here. And we can get our dome light set to off. We don't need that on anymore. All right, we'll set these back to idle. We're gonna make a right turn somewhere right around here. Yeah, right here. We're gonna make this right. And we're gonna follow this taxi line over to the left here and then jump on, what was it, Bravo, I believe. So we'll go in one. This is gonna be Lima, I believe, and then we'll jump in and go to Bravo. Get ourselves a little bit more throttle, get ourselves moving a little more here. All right, we'll head over to the left. And then we'll taxi over to the right, and we'll take that down to runway 31. If you guys are enjoying this, be sure to hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe if this is the kind of content you like. And I'll keep making it. But it's a little bit dark. I don't usually do night flights, but I thought, hey, if we're flying out of New York and into Toronto, I mean, that would be 2 great places to go with night lighting. All right, let me cycle through these wind views here. There we go. So there's a right wing view of the terminals. Remember, we're flying out of LaGuardia. We'll give ourselves some more throttle here. We're going slow. Super slow. There we are. Get a little more speed as we go down the taxiway here. It's a beautiful airport, beautiful sceneries and everything. They did a really good job on this. I'm telling you, I can't wait to see that New York skyline as soon as we depart. Especially at nighttime. I think it's going to look freaking awesome. I'll try and keep you guys in a wing view as much as I can. That way you guys can get the best view of it. Turn that down a little bit more. All right, we're coming up almost on our runway here. Well, I think we're going to get on at Whiskey, so that's going to be the second left. Zulu would be the very last one, but I don't know. I guess we can go all the way down. I don't know where you're supposed to get on. So right here is Whiskey. Down here is Zulu. Yeah, we'll just go down to Zulu. We'll go all the way down to the end. Since we are a larger plane. I mean, this is a pretty long runway. We have plenty of room. It's 7,300 feet. All right, we'll start our left turn following these taxi lights here. We'll hold short just for a second. All right, we're gonna hold short right here for a minute. We're gonna do before takeoff checks. Auto throttle can come on. Engine start switches can go to continuous. Strobe light can go on. And landing lights can come on. All right, we're ready to pull out onto the runway. Let's give ourselves some throttle. Let's get out here and get on the runway and get in the sky. And let's go into a left wing view, because that's the view that we're going to need when we look out over New York. All right. Go ahead and hold short right here. And we are ready for departure. So we'll go ahead and hit our hidden toga switch here. We'll keep our nose to the ground, listen for our V speeds, and we're gonna get the heck out of here. Let's go. Hold it center, giving a little left rudder.
80 knots.
80 knots, cross checked.
V1. Rotate.
Rotating.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. We'll pitch our nose down a little bit, go into a wing view. Go ahead and bring our flaps in. Nose down a little bit. There's downtown New York out there. And we actually got to start a right turn here. We're going to nose down. I guess we're going to not see quite as much as New York as I thought we were going to see. All right, we'll go VNAV, LNAV, autopilot, VNAV back on. Try and get into that wing view. You can see downtown New York right there. There it is. That is beautiful, though. What a departure. I have to jump back up front in a second and clean up the airplane, but for now, I'll let you guys get a good view of downtown. There's the park right here, right in the middle. Go to a right wing view. You can see the right side. All right, we gotta jump up front here and make sure everything's right. Set this back down to the off position. Our flaps are up, and our taxi light and runway turnoff lights can come off, and our auto brakes can be set to off as well. Jump back into a wing view. Beautiful New York departure. I think we can also toggle off our wing lights here too. I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. I don't know which one that is. That might be our landing lights, actually. Just off the back of the wing there, you can see New York again, the skyline. We'll have to do a flight from, I don't know, somewhere like Baltimore or something, where we fly right over there and fly into LaGuardia. But I thought that was great. I like that a lot. That was beautiful. You can see the city and everything out there. It's great. All right, we'll jump back up front. Climbing up to 7,000. We're climbing up to 30,000 through 7,500 right now. What a beautiful time of the day. Just barely see New York out there. All right, everything's going smooth so far. Landing gear is up, flaps are up, taxi light switches are off, autopilot is on, and auto brakes are off. Pretty good. Let's take a look at, we're about to cross over 10,000 feet. We can go ahead and toggle off our landing lights, which I think, yeah, see, I know that's got to be our wing lights. Let's see, wing lights off. Logo light, we'll turn our logo light on. Yeah, there we go. So it was our wing lights. We cycle through these again. Do a right wing view. There we go. Okay, we are good to go. There was the wing lights that were turned on. 10,000 feet, and we're pitched down for speed. We're going to gain our speeds here. We get up to about 30,000 feet. Let's take a look at where our top of descent is. I don't know if we'll be able to see it yet, but let's see if we go all the way out. It looks like it is after the Keeley waypoint, which is, let's see if I can find that on a map here. So Keeley is right here. So shortly after this waypoint, we're going to go into a time lapse, and shortly after this waypoint is where we're going to come back. So let me move that back over to here, to my other screen. I just wanted to have an idea of where we were going on our time lapse here. Climbing up 12,000 feet. Once we're at 18,000 feet, we'll switch into the time lapse mode. I don't know how good the time lapse is going to look at night. Sometimes you literally see nothing. I don't know if you're going to be able to see much ground. So it may or may not make the cut for the video. I don't know. We'll see. We do still have some sunlight, so we are going to be flying into a sunset. So that'll give you something to see. But I don't know how well you're going to see it. But it's definitely going to be a pitch black arrival, or a dark arrival. I mean, you're going to have all the city lights and everything, but you're not going to have any sun at that point. But that's okay. Coming up on 14,600. About to be at 15,000. We're already well away from New York. I wouldn't say well away from it, but we're a pretty good distance away from it already. And just continuing our climb. We are going to have to put in some more information on our arrival, which we haven't gone over yet, which is fine. We'll do that when we do our descent. I'll start putting in some of our arrival information. And being that we're only flying at 30,000 feet, we're not going to have a very long descent in the time lapse, because, you know, I don't like to get too low before I come back. So we'll probably come back around like 24,000 feet, 22,000 feet, somewhere in that range, which is very, very shortly after we start our descent. Here we are at 17,000, coming up on our 18,000. I mean, we are cleared through 18,000, so we could technically toggle off our barometer now, but we'll wait until or toggle into standard mode. We'll wait till we're actually there. 600, 700, 800, and we'll go ahead and toggle this into standard mode. We'll jump in the front window. We'll start our time lapse here, and I will see you guys when we're closer to our descent. I hope you guys enjoy the flight. All right, guys, welcome back. So we're probably just going to cut out that time lapse. I mean, after it got dark, there really wasn't much to see. But we are on our descent. We're at 24,000 feet. I set it down to 5,000, but we need to take a look at our charts and see where we actually need to set it. So I set it down. Our 8,000 is going to be the lowest altitude on our arrival, but we need to take a look at the runway. So runway 24 left. We're going to pull up approach. We'll go runway 24 left. And it looks like about 3,000 feet is going to be our intercept altitude for the ILS. We'll hold it at 5,000 and we'll take it down to 3 once we start that left turn. As you remember, I'll show you, because we're going to fly past the airport and have to vector. But let's take a look at our localizer. Our final approach course needs to be 237. So let's go ahead and get that put in. It might be quicker to go backwards. 237, and we'll do that on both sides. 237. Our localizer needs to be 111.95. So 111.95. We'll set that over. And then 111.95. We'll set that over to our active as well. And then our landing barometer is 747. So let's see if we can go ahead and get that put in as well. Might take us a second to get there, but 747 is going to be our landing barometer. And there we are, 747. And we are all set. Our altimeter for arrival is 2980. So once we hit 18,000, actually we need to add in some speed brakes. We're a little bit above our descent path. We will add in some speed brakes, and then we will set our altimeter. Here's where we are on our arrival. So as you can see, the airport is right here by this yellow circle, and we're going to be flying up and then doing a manual vector onto our localizer. So we'll stay at 5,000 for that, and once we start that left turn, we'll start bringing it down to 3,000 to intercept the ILS. I think that's probably what we're going to do. All right, we'll go ahead and release our speed brakes. We're caught up to our glide path there. It's not much to see out the window. It's just pretty boring at this point. I can get our wing lights turned back on, which will just light up our engines. But yeah, we're coming up on, we're at 19,700 now. So 29080 is going to be our altimeter. We'll go ahead and set that now. 29080. There we are. We got that set. Now we're just falling a little bit below our descent path, but we'll grab right back onto that. That won't be an issue. Now, there's not going to be a lot to see until we get closer to Toronto. As you can see, there's nothing but water here. So it'll be a pretty dark approach, I believe. I don't think you'll be able to see Toronto across the way. I mean, I see nothing out there, literally. I don't see the ground. I don't see lights. I don't see anything. It's just, oh, you know what? I think there's clouds. Yeah, that's why. Look, we're going over some clouds here. That's why we don't see anything. I don't think it's storming or raining or anything, but there's definitely a little bit of clouds. All right, so that's why we don't see anything right now. But that's all right. We're crossing 18,000 now. We need to get down to 5,000 and set it down to 3,000. We could do our descent checks. I guess we don't really need to. Landing lights will come on. Seatbelt signs, we never turn them off. Air conditioner and pressures, they look good. Let me just go up here real quick. We could toggle this on dim. Everything looks fine there. ATIS we got. Oh, we need to go down to here and set our arrival information here. So we're going to be doing a flaps 30, 132 knots plus 5. We'll go ahead and put that in there, and that's going to be our landing information. We'll jump back here. We're heading down to 11,000, between 11,000 and 13,000 feet is what we're looking for. We're at 16,500 right now, and continuing down. We can set our engines to, oh, you know what? We forgot to take them out of continuous mode. They should have been in off, but we'll just leave them in continuous mode since that's where it needs to be now anyway. But that would normally go to the off position, and I totally forgot to do my, what was it, my climb checks or my cruise checks? Climb checks. I never did my climb checks, which was just landing lights come off, engine start switches off, and seatbelt signs off. I did turn off my landing lights. I just forgot to set my engines back to the off position. But we are getting closer. We're just now about to cross over the water. Look at that light turned back off for now. We don't need that on. I don't think you can see anything out the window. I don't see anything. We can do a wing view. Yep, we're in the clouds, so can't see any ground textures anyway, but I don't think it's going to take very long for us to get across this water. And once we do, we'll be at 8,000 feet and over the land, so I think you're going to get a pretty good view of Toronto. You're definitely going to get a great view of Toronto as we fly in. But as soon as we get across this water and hopefully below these clouds, I think you'll get a good view of the city lights and everything like that. So let's hope so. I don't see anything on the horizon now, but I think we will once we get a little bit closer. I don't see anything at all, but I don't know how thick these clouds are. I guess maybe we're through them now. I don't know. We're over water now, so there's literally nothing to see until we get crossed over this water, but we're gonna just monitor our instruments here, and I will have, you know, timestamps if you guys want to jump ahead and not sit through the descent here. But we are at 13,000, and we're just gonna keep monitoring all our instruments and make sure everything is right. We're gonna be making a right turn pretty shortly. Right turn over here. If we turn, oh, this one doesn't have terrain, does it? Did they put weather in this yet? I don't think so, but man, I hope that they get the weather system in this working. That would be freaking awesome. Terrain, I don't know if terrain works in this actually either. I don't remember. Maybe it does. We have to probably be closer to the ground though, but we're over water. There's absolutely no terrain for it to pick up anyway. I'm so used to the A320 because I flew it for 2 flights in a row that the A320 does, the Phoenix A320 does have terrain. It doesn't have weather that I know of. It looks like we're still in these clouds. We're climbing through some kind of cloud system, I guess. I still don't see Toronto in front of us, which we should be able to see pretty soon. We're at 11,400 feet, continuing down to 5,000 feet. Once we cross that 10,000 feet, we'll do our landing lights. We'll put our landing lights on. We won't do our approach checks just yet. We're starting to slow down because we're coming down to that 10,000 mark. I think we're going to slow down to 250 or 240. I think the speed constraint is 250 though. Yeah, the speed constraint is 250. So we'll keep slowing down, which will slow down our descent. This is why I don't know if you guys enjoy the night flights or not, because there's just not a whole lot to see when you do them. So the time lapses can be fairly boring. There's nothing to see right now. It's literally just a black screen, but looks like we're starting to get some lights ahead of us here. Oh, there we go. So there's the runway in the airport. We're actually starting to get below the clouds here, and we're going to start seeing some land. There's our 10,000 mark. We'll go ahead and toggle on our landing lights. All right. So we are going to break out of these clouds. Beautiful. All right, landing lights can come on. Auto brakes we're going to set to 2. Master caution, system recall, we are good. Both sides, nothing over there. We're good. Speed brake, we can go ahead and arm that. We may need to use it again, but we can go ahead and arm it for now. Flaps, landing gear, and taxi light switches is all we have left on our approach checks. I think this is going to be a really cool looking approach. I'm definitely excited for it. You're going to be able to see all the city lights, like everything. And we're going to be pretty low for a while, just like right over the city. I think it's going to make for a very, very nice approach. I guess what we could do is, since we're landing runway 24 left, let's take a look at the taxi charts. I need the one that says info, but I can't see it. There we go. Runway 24 left. So we're landing this runway, which means we're going to have to get off on the right. Hopefully we can make this one right here. If not, we'll go all the way down, but I hope we don't have to go all the way down. We'll see. Yeah, so we'll get off on the right-hand side. What a busy looking airport. Yikes. All right, I'm just going to leave this here since we don't need anything else for now. We'll leave it zoomed in so I can see where we are. There we are, breaking through these clouds. You can see our lights lighting up in the cloud layer. We're flying right at the airport. We are going to be making a right turn here in just a second. We could also set our fixes, which we didn't have. CYYZ. Drag required. Why? We're right on our descent path. We'll do /5 and /10. There we are. So we'll get our rings, our green rings. Now it's saying drag required. I don't know where it's thinking that we're going to need drag. But we're doing just fine. So I don't know why drag required popped up. There's that right turn we were looking for. Still in the clouds a little bit, which is why we're not seeing the ground very clearly. But I think we are going to be getting below them. All right, doing good so far. Zoom this in. Now that there's finally something to see. So we're going to be flying up to this waypoint and then making our turn onto this waypoint, which is where we'll get locked onto our localizer. When we start that turn, we will start bringing our altitude down to 3,000. But I'm going to hold here at 5,000. I have it set for until we start that turn. There we go. It's the left wing view. Still in the clouds a little bit. You can definitely see the clouds. We're starting to get below them just a little bit. There you go. There's a good view of the area. Still in these clouds though. Still seeing a little bit of a haze. So there's the airport right there. I think this is going to be a really nice approach. I think both times I've ever flew in or out of this airport has been nighttime. I don't think I've ever done this airport in the daytime. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But we're basically just monitoring right now. Making sure everything's doing what it's supposed to. We're 6,500 feet. And all we have to do is our flaps, landing gear, and taxi light switches. And just maintain our altitudes. Make sure everything sets up under the localizer. There's a little runway right there. I don't know what airport that is though. Jump over to the right side. I don't know where... Oh, I guess that's downtown Toronto right there. I was about to say, I don't know where downtown Toronto is. But that's definitely downtown Toronto. We're kind of flying past it, so I'm struggling to get a view of it for you. That's alright, when we turn, we might be able to see it once we make this U-turn. Alright, we're down to 6,000. We're 1,000 feet from our altitude that we set, which is 5,000. We have to continue our way forward. We got 4 waypoints. But they're not that far. They're less than 10 miles away, and we'll be at our final waypoint where we can start making that turn. And in order to do that, which I'm not going to do it yet, but I'm going to place this right here. And then once we hit that waypoint, we'll toggle that execute. Bring ourselves down to 4,500. Very slow descent. And there's our 1,000, letting us know we're 1,000 from our set altitude. There's another airport up there. Right up there. All right, we're almost at that final waypoint where we can start that turn. We probably could start it now, but I'd like to at least reach that last waypoint first. All right, and we'll set it down to 3,000. And I think we're good. We'll go ahead and execute that turn. There's a wing view. All right, we'll get 2 notches of flap set. We do have a localizer showing up, so we'll go ahead and toggle on our VOR localizer button. See our flaps extending here. Complete this turn. We'll go ahead and get our runway turn off. No, not our APU. Our runway turn off lights, our taxi lights turned on. There's our runways over there. We'll just keep making this turn. We'll keep an eye out for our glide slope. Once we see our glide slope click in and we're in the right position, we'll toggle that on as well. I think we can go 2 more notches of flaps. We're not going to do it yet, but I think that's what we could do before we have to drop our gear. Yeah, we can go up to 10. Flaps 10 degrees. All right, so we're just looking for that localizer capture. As soon as we have that, then we will be on our way to landing. We're at the right intercept angle, so That's a good sign. Letting us know we're 1,000 feet from our desired altitude. You can see the diamond moving over just a little bit at a time. So at some point we're going to grab that and capture it. We're going to hold at 3,000 feet until we're established. A runway 24 left, I think it was. There's our glide slope one. And yeah, 24 left. We could try terrain, see if it does anything. I mean, there's not much terrain around here, so it does a little bit. Yeah, it's painting some. We got some off to the right, I guess. So we'll leave that on for now. I don't want to do my notches of flaps yet until we get like closer, because I don't want to slow down too much and drag this approach out. We should get a capture pretty soon. It's starting to move over. A little white diamond right there is what we're looking for. So we should get a capture soon. We're coming up on our 10-mile mark. We're not going to drop our gear yet.
2,500.
But we are going to go ahead and go 2 more notches of flaps, which will put us at 10 degrees. So we can't drop we can't do any more flaps until we put our gear down. And we should capture here. Excuse me. Yep, there's positive capture. We got a capture on that. We'll cruise at 3,000 until we intercept our glide slope. Once we intercept our glide slope, we'll toggle that on, and we'll be right down to the runway. We do have runways in sight, and everything's looking smooth. Very good. All right, so we're holding at 3,000. So we're going to level off here, which will bring our glide slope down a little bit quicker. We'll go ahead and toggle on our approach. We should get a capture on that in just a second. And it was 132 is going to be our landing target speed. So we'll go ahead and drop our gear. Once our gear is down, we'll go ahead and set our flaps to 30 degrees. And gear is down, so we'll go ahead and set flaps 1, 2, and 3. Flaps are good. We're all set for our landing. We need to bring our speeds way down. Whoops. Do 138. Let me add some speed brakes because I forgot to do that. We're like struggling on the glide slope here. I forgot once you lock onto the glide slope, the speed goes into manual mode, or like where you have to set it. All right, there we go. We'll go ahead and arm our speed brake. We'll bring this down to 135. Once we get a little bit closer, I'll toggle off the autopilot and we'll do a hand landing. We'll just hand fly it down, I think. Hopefully I don't screw it up. And we'll bring our speeds down to 132 is where we need to be. We have 2 white, 2 red on the PAPI lights. The eerie looking clouds, that's for sure. 1,000. All right, we'll go ahead and toggle this off. We are now hand flying it, as you can see, because I just got a little shaky with it. And we're just going to try and follow that glide path right down, that purple diamond on the right side where our altitude indicator is. There we go. We're going to nose down, chase that diamond down. We're looking good so far.
Approaching minimums.
Gotta come up a little bit. We're a little bit low. That's okay. We're doing just fine. And we are down. And whoa. We'll go ahead and go reverse thrust. I don't know why that always happens to me. There we go. We'll go reverse thrust. We'll try and slow it down as quick as we can. It never lands like stable. All right. I don't think we're going to be able to get off here, so we're going to have to take it all the way down. So we'll go ahead and release that. Looks like we did good. We could bring our... It's really pulling to the right. I'm giving like hard rudder to the left. All right, we'll bring our flaps in and we'll go ahead and roll ourselves off of this runway, and then we'll do our after landing checks. Not a bad landing. I don't like how it like pulled to the right for some reason. I don't know if it's something that I'm doing every time, that I have to like learn the torque of the plane or something, but it definitely pulls me. Or it just, you know, I just didn't land right. I don't know. But we did land nevertheless. I don't think we tapped our wings on the runway. I don't think we tilted that much. All right, we'll go ahead and stop. We'll pull up just a little bit more. And there's actually a runway right here. So we'll hold short here. We'll do our after landing checks, which is, let's get our dome light on here. Let's get the bright one on. All right, so we need to do landing lights can come off. Strobe lights can go back to steady. Taxi lights, we'll keep those on and everything. Flaps are back to normal. Engine start switches can go back to the off position, and we can start our APU. All right, well, while our APU is starting, we'll take a look over here. This is where we are. We're going to cross runway, jump on Delta, I guess, and take Delta all the way down. We'll cross both runways. Let me put this back over here. And there we go. All right, and we will start our taxi. Go ahead and release our brakes. Oh, we never set our brake. I was just holding the brakes on the rudders. All right, we'll give ourselves some throttle and we'll start rolling through this runway here. This is runway 6 left. We'll go ahead and cross runway 6 left. Auto brakes can be set to off as well. And we did put our flaps back and we did unarm our speed brake. So we're all set there. We're going to take this down, follow this around, and we'll head right down to the terminals. If you guys did enjoy this flight, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If there's anywhere you want me to fly, let me know. I'll try and make it happen. And I will fly outside of the US as well, if there's anywhere outside the US you guys want to see. But I do prefer international flights instead of, you know, bigger aircrafts. I have the CRJ, is it the CRJ? Yeah, the CRJ. I do not like it. I don't like the speed management in it. It doesn't have auto throttle. It's just a very hands-on, pain in the butt plane to fly. But if you guys really wanted some videos with that, I guess I would figure it out for you. I have flown it and I can fly it. I just don't enjoy flying it. But we need to go over to the left here. But how far? I don't think we have to go all the way over there. I don't know. We're staying right here where we are. So I do have the scenery for this airport, which is pretty nice. I do believe I have it installed since I did my, you know, fresh install of the game. But very, very cool flight. Very cloudy up here today. Definitely didn't expect it to be so cloudy. But we're gonna pull up to a terminal and then we'll do our parking checks and get the plane deboarded. But yeah, that whole landing thing, I like often, very often when I fly this plane, as soon as my back wheels touch down, even if I try and compensate with the rudder, it just pulls to one side or the other. And I don't know why that's happening or how to fix it. So if you guys have noticed that, you have any opinions on it, let me know. But I definitely do try and get rudder correction in there as quickly as I can. But what are you gonna do? You can't win them all, I guess, right? This is runway, what is it, 33 right? We're gonna go ahead and cross this runway. Is it 33? It might be 36. Yeah, it's 33 right. Runway 33 right. We're gonna cross that. Terminals are just over there. You can see where the terminals are. The terminals here are absolutely beautiful, if I remember correctly. So we'll just continue on Delta here. Take Delta down to Delta Quebec, or Delta Papa even. Stay right here. We'll get off on our next, not our next one, but the next one after that, and we could pull up to one of these terminals, which is Delta Papa. So we'll get off at this one right here. Alright, we'll slow down a little bit. We'll make this turn here. And we'll just pick a gate and pull right up into it. I guess we'll do this gate. Stay on the taxi line for now, but okay, I think these red lights, whoop, I think these red lights are where the taxi line is. Maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong about that. But here we are. We're gonna pull into this gate here. Look how beautiful this airport looks. Look at that. Oh, it just looks so good. I'm on the wrong taxi line, aren't I? Move over to this one. I think I actually see people walking around in there. All right, we'll start slowing down. We'll go ahead and stop right there. There we are. We'll go ahead and get our brakes on. And we'll also toggle off our lights, which I like to do before we get to this point. And we'll do our parking checks. Parking brake is on. Seatbelt signs, no smoking signs, they can come off. People can now get up. APU generator switch. Our APU is this off or on? I don't know. I think that's, I don't know which one is on. Fuel cutoff switch. Oh, we got to go on our APU gens. We'll go on here, boom, we're good to go. Now we can do our fuel cutoff. We'll cut our fuel. APU bleed switch we'll turn off in a second. Let's establish ground services here. Let's go down here. We'll go menu, FS actions, ground services. Set the wheel chocks, request the ground power, change stairs to jetway, and we'll request the jetway as well, which will bring that over. Are they gonna bump into each other? No. It's pretty close though. All right, we can go back overhead. We'll get established on our ground power. There we are. We can now turn our APU and everything off. Our pack switches can come off. We'll set them back to the off position and close the valve. Window heats or probe heats can come off. Window heats can come off. Yaw damper can come off. Anti-collision lights can come off. We can leave the logo lights on. It doesn't really matter. Fuel pumps can come off. And that's going to be everything. If we wanted to turn the plane off, we would just flick the battery to the off position. But we're not going to turn the plane completely off today. We're just going to stop right there. So there you go. LaGuardia to Toronto. If you guys enjoyed that flight, let me know. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. and I hope I will see you guys on the next video.